Hi, welcome to week 4. This week we're going to introduce a lot of new terminology, and if you've read your textbook, there's a lot of new words, a lot of new concepts that will be relating to how companies compete in this new digital environment. We'll talk about real companies that you've probably experimented with and talk about some of the impacts of the internet technologies and what they've done to create marketplaces. So let me give you a quick summary of the types of things that we'll discuss. First of all, we're going to check back in on those two companies that we've been watching from China. That's Tencent and Alibaba. I actually heard this week, and maybe when you watch this it will already have happened, that Tencent is taking out an IPO and that means it's forming a new company, a publicly traded company to do digital music in the USA. So that'll create some entirely new competition, but that was a bit of a surprise. So we're keeping an eye on Tencent and Alibaba because, as we've discussed, that helps us think of current companies, what they're doing, apply some of the frameworks we're learning, and see how they're trying to compete. In this case, Tencent and Alibaba are locked into some pretty fierce competition. So we'll return to their situation and talk to them a little bit. In addition, we'll add to our strategic arsenal a lot of the new concepts and terminology that you read about in this week's textbook reading. And those concepts are really important as we adapt our strategic frameworks so that we can discuss competently about how these companies are going to create sustainable competitive advantage into the future. We'll take those concepts and we'll apply them to eBay. And I don't know if you've experimented with eBay, but it might be fun for you to get on, take a look, see what they're up to, get a feel for what the company does, and we'll leverage some of the things that we've learned. You'll see it's going to get pretty intense in how we start to talk about the companies using these new concepts, but eBay provides a great starting point. Finally, we'll look at the halo effect cognitive bias, and you'll be working on an Excel spreadsheet that helps you deal with this halo effect in a very practical setting, and that is human resources and performance management decision making. So I hope you enjoyed this week. We'll see you shortly.